Hey everybody, Doc here. Thanks for joining me on this very special episode of LABventures Studios, LABventures Builds. Now, this series is a little bit different. Instead of our normal story, I want to take you behind the scenes on how we built LABventures Studios. Now, the important thing to understand is that there's two ways to build in Minecraft, or in this case, Minecraft Feed the Beast, which is a monster version that we are using for LABventures Studios for our server. What you see here is Russ building in the traditional mode, the survival mode. It's a possibility that you can always be attacked by zombies or some other creature whenever you're in that mode. Now, for most of the builds, the team that actually did the building, who I'll call our builders, worked in creative mode. And creative mode is fun because it gives you an opportunity to pull from anything that the creators of the game have put into it. So, using all of the different textures, tools, items, blocks, we can get really creative with creative mode. And most Let's Builds that you see are done in exactly this way. Now, here, what you see is our builders working on what is going to be the main office. Some creative techniques that you'll see employed are the use of fences on top of one another, along with lamps to make lampposts. What you can see in this shot has been created with scaffolding and some of the rather interesting mods that have been put into Feed the Beast. There are over 100 mods in Feed the Beast, and it changes all the time. Let's shift our angle just a little bit here to a wider angle so that we can see one of the sound stages being built. You can see that in this area, it has been cordoned off so that we know exactly how large we want that build to be. But there are a few problems. One of which is there's a mountain in the way. So, to have some fun, our builders are going to put, well, TNT. Now, you can take out in a couple of ways that are really interesting. There are tools and mods that allow you to take out whole chunks, but quite frankly, putting down some TNT is just fun. Okay. There we go. I think he might have blown himself up on that one. Anyway, what you'll see happen next is a little bit of filling in of the gaps. The floor, the foundation, will be leveled, and, of course, some lights are going to be put out so that he can see what he's doing, and so that we can see what he's doing. Then the builder is going to start creating the frame. Now, this particular build is interesting because we're using concrete for the floor, but we're also using two types of materials, one for the exterior and one for the interior, so that it's a different color on the outside than the inside. So the wall is literally 2 thick. This is a great technique for all of your builds because it allows a little bit of texture, and so important with a Minecraft build, whether you're building in creative mode or survival mode, is to make sure that it looks good from a distance. The best way to do that is not to just rely on the textures that are on the blocks themselves, but to help that really great lighting engine work for you by having 2 blocks, or maybe 2 different kinds of blocks, one inset from the other. So you'll see this technique a little bit later. For now, what we're looking at is the floor being laid out, and over on the left, you can see that block by block, new techniques are being experimented with. The interesting thing is that this build on the right is actually based on an image, whereas the build on the left is being done completely creatively, with no specific plan in mind, other than for there to be a sort of Art Deco 1930s, 1940s style Hollywood skyscraper building. We'll see how that turns out in another video. So, as night falls yet again, I'll wrap up by saying how important it is to lay a foundation for any build that you choose to build in Minecraft, whether you choose to follow a plan or not. Next time, we'll see what the main office looks like and what Studio One looks like being built.